I'm going to tell you why it makes sense to get strong first. I'm going to tell you why that training like a power lifter is actually superior to training like a bodybuilder. Even if you're not quite at that power lifter level, if you strength train, if you lift heavy weights, if you grind to produce maximum force output rather than grind to try to like achieve some muscle contraction or some shit where you're just increasing the volume of fluid into the muscle. Listen to me very carefully, because I think that we almost have it backwards a little bit. I actually don't really believe in bodybuilding. The reason why is because, okay, let me break it down for you. If when you are a bodybuilder, okay, a bodybuilder's main function when they're operating is to try and get a muscle contraction. Because what is bodybuilding measured by? Looking good, right? The only thing that matters if you are a bodybuilder is whether or not you look good. That means that anything else goes. And that's kind of the issue a little bit with bodybuilding, is that anything goes. It doesn't matter if you're in poor health. It doesn't matter if you're not getting enough to eat because you're trying to stay shredded. It doesn't matter if you're not very strong and you couldn't stop the fucking Tower of Pisa. It doesn't matter shit. Okay, now let's talk about the power lifter on the other hand. Powerlifters, they don't care about about trying to win over people's false conception about what they think actually looks good. They don't care about trying to constantly win other people's perception and viewpoint over, and try to get them to think that they're just good just because they're stripping their calories, they're below like fucking 10% body fat. By the way, that's not healthy, by the way. I do not believe, I'm a big believer in high body fat. If it means you're using it the right way, I'm a fucking asshole. I don't care. You know what? I actually don't think that being overweight is the problem. I think it's how people are using that. I think it's, okay, what form of overweight are you? You could technically weigh 300 pounds of muscle if you wanted. Now, practically, I don't think that most people would get there because it would be pretty hard. But in theory, you could weigh a ton. And you might not actually have a whole lot of body fat on you. And even if you do, who fucking cares, right? The thing with people who are very heavy is that they are stronger. They are capable of producing more force. When you're capable of maximizing more force output with heavy weight, you know what ends up happening? Most of the time, the opposite actually happens. Those big, overweight, unhealthy, obese powerlifters out there, those people probably make up like a portion of the powerlifting community. That's what people don't realize. People don't realize that those people actually only make up a portion of the powerlifting community. Most powerlifters are actually quite fit. They're actually quite athletic. All powerlifting is strength training, but just taken a little bit to the extreme. You're lifting extremely heavy weight. You're doing many, many sets. You're taking extremely lengthy rest periods to try to recover. You're eating a lot. If you do it right, you're actually not overweight. You're actually lean, to tell you the truth. You know why? Because powerlifters put on so much tissue, so much good quality muscle tissue, because they get stronger. And so what happens is they can't help it. They are actually not fat and out of shape because their body is forced to go into this auto mode where their afterburn just burns fuel like mad. Like some people have to keep eating just to maintain enough muscle size. It's crazy. Like it's insane. So so bodybuilding is not actually the healthy lifestyle. You have to have poor nutrition because you have to strip your calories. You have to undereat for the sake of looking good and looking skinny. You work so hard in the bulk season. You overeat when you're a bodybuilder in the beginning because you stuff yourself so much you force feed just for what? To put on massive bulk? To prove that you're big? They're not even that big. That's the thing about it. All they're doing is they're pumping what's called sartoplasm fluid into the muscle. They're expanding the overall volume of the fluid of the muscle to make the muscle look big. Their muscles aren't actually that big. Not to mention, bodybuilders are not capable of much force output the same way that a power lifter is capable of force output. So there's that, they're not even that big and strong. They just appear that way sometimes. And then, even if they do get there to some degree, they have to strip their fucking calories. They go into what's called the cut. They go on these extreme under eating diets, They strip all their calories. They lose a lot of muscle, by the way, because they have to lose so much body fat that they end up losing muscle. Obviously, you know what happens when that occurs. You lose so much strength. And that's not good. You're not very functional. You're not very healthy. You're just trying to prove what? That's what measures bodybuilding, is just how other people think you look. What measures powerlifting and strength training is not how you look. Okay, the measurement is all metric based. It's like, can you lift or not? Not only how much do you lift, how are you lifting the weight? Are you doing proper form? Is it right? It's technique based, it's skill based. I believe that strength training and powerlifting is far healthier than bodybuilding, by far. Let me know in the comments section what you think. All right, take care.